a fist pump and a handshake, and all smiles from Team State. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Mzansi Unfiltered video. I'm going to say, as predicted, I'm not even surprised. I'm not even surprised. My Lord has made a ruling, and just in case you haven't already heard, he has ruled. He is absolutely, definitely not going to discharge accused number 4, Mthokoziseni Maphisa. Basically, he said there is prima facie evidence which needs an answer, and consequently, I cannot discharge accused number 4. In fact, he sounded quite disgusted. He sounded quite enraged by Nxumalu's submissions, and he felt like he was about to say the audacity that you could try and tear apart Zungunizer, yes, Constable Sizwe Zungu's evidence. Let me tell you something. Wherever Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda is, today was the day he needed to show himself jumping up and down in celebration with the state. Because, wow. I did do a video last week. I'm going to link it maybe somewhere here. I titled it Contradictions. And I spoke about Bongani Ntanzi being related or not related to Zungunizer, or not knowing Zungunizer, but Zungu Senior saying they are related. We transversed it in the comment section, and a lot of the comments were around the fact that just because we're related doesn't mean we know each other. And there's many examples you guys gave, but unfortunately, my Lord brought that to the forefront of his ruling today to say Bongani Ntanzi said he didn't know Sizwe Zungu, and then Jiggy, suddenly Bongani Ntanzi changed his tune. I don't know why he referenced Bongani Ntanzi, because this was an application for accused number 4. But back to Maphisa. Wow, guys. Let's process. What was the most wildest thing that the judge said to you? Someone in a previous video as well said, as soon as you see the judge, if he's going to have water and drinking water, just know he is not going to grant the Section 174. And when he opened that bottle of water, I said, yep, there we go. There goes the end of any dreams of a Section 174 discharge. So some of the highlights, he even endorsed Mangena, even though he didn't call him Mangena, he gave him a new name. But he said Mangena and the 5 other, a team of 5 ballistic experts, all of them came. There's only one gun. A gun can never be, there's only like a bullet prints, the striations, they can never be repeated in another firearm. So there's only one, and he talked about that firearm. Guys, it's bad. It's bad. Because basically, the Section 174 application, kind of with the judge going through point by point, including Zungu has got a lot of satire. And if you don't pick up on satire, that's a problem for you. But I picked up on the satire that Zungu was giving. And I understood him, because I understand satire. Okay, my lord. We hear you. But basically, the judge endorsed Zungu. Like, he didn't just endorse him. He put a rubber stamp of approval on everything Zungunizer. And then he called him. And then he said, he's not a perfect witness, but he surely is a witness of note. I mean, I thought he was going to speak about he wasn't supposed to hand his firearm to Kwabini. He wasn't No. All my Lord heard in that testimony is what has to do with the accused. Nothing about what the bad things that Zungunizer did. He even speaks about how accused number 4 came back with the key and clapped his hands in admiration and gratitude for Zungu giving the key so that he could move the car. Like, it was a showdown. It was an absolute showdown. But here's the replay. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Of course, I'll be back with more commentary, because we can only take this bit by bit. Guningi, guys. Wow. Let me know. Were you disappointed? Were you satisfied? Did you predict this? I wouldn't say satisfied, but is this what you expected? For myself, I'm going to go with Team This is what I predicted. I was hoping he was going to prove me wrong and I was going to have to come here and apologize and acknowledge things I've said. But the judge came swinging. He came swinging for Unqumalo Gazwite. Man, you could just see the disappointment in Unqumalo. Yeah, the state is extremely happy. I played the clip for you. My lord is extremely upset. Very, very upset. Although he seemed all over the place, if you ask me. He seemed unorganized, disorganized, searching for stuff. It felt like he wasn't ready. But let's continue listening on.
That the evidence of Zungu is unreliable, contradictory, hopeless. Nobody can make head or tail of that evidence. That evidence, like when I was quoting State versus Gentle, it has some corroboration. For instance, that he was there at Basotho Hostel. I mean, all indications are he was there. Because if you're saying he wasn't there, how would he know about tops? How would he go and take photographs with our colleagues here? He took photographs with them if he wasn't there.
Well, I can't even believe he said that out loud. Zungu is accurate because he was there. How would he know about tops? Wow. You don't have to have been in the hostel to know about tops. People know about tops. People who drive by could know about tops. It could be a very popular place. I'll give you an example. Gonka used to be very popular, but it doesn't mean you had to have gone there to know that it existed. What is my lord putting on the record here? Is this the reason why they didn't want to do the inspection in loco in the first place? So, the only way you can know about tops is if you were in the vicinity. Never mind Google. Never mind Google. But let's continue listening on.
And no one says Zungu is a perfect witness. I've never come and met a perfect witness.
I don't have hopes for rubbish. I have no hopes for rubbish. I'm sorry. I said what I said.
I'm 55 years in the profession. Perfect witness. But look at Zungu. Zungu says, I just forget this thought, but I'll come to it now. Oh yeah. Zungu says, when they were jollying happy on the 26th of June 2014, accused number one celebrated and said, out of the blue, have you heard? SENZO is no more. And Zungu says that jolted him. How can you joke like this? Because he repeated it once or twice. Have you heard? SENZO is no more. And what he does is he checks his social media SIM card or phone, and he doesn't find it there. And everybody grumbles to say, no, man, you can't say things like this. And that incantation is so serious that nobody, according to Zungu, in that vicinity, believed it. And he got a shock of his life, Zungu, when in the morning there was a news flash that SENZO has been murdered. Then he went to Russia and buy newspapers because he always had this uneasy feeling. Now, here it is, it's confirmed. Before anybody else, the previous day, had announced it, there was no press report, according to Zungu, not me. I'll end there. You know what? This is just an application to find out, evaluate if there is evidence before this court. If there is evidence, not Zungu's evidence. If there is evidence, the evidence of the firearm, the evidence of the bullets, the evidence of the photographs, the evidence of the cell phone, which was picked up, was robbed by one of the invaders. If there's also evidence of telephone calls there are hundreds and hundreds of telephone calls which were exchanged. But we are not here dealing with the merits, to write a judgment on the merits. It was just what you'd call a purview of seeing whether there is evidence upon which a reasonable man thinking seriously can convict. But I don't even put it that high. At the most here, I find that there is prima facie evidence which needs an answer. There is. And I don't have to delve into those other aspects. And consequently, I cannot discharge my learned colleague of number 4. There is evidence which a reasonable litigant has to discharge.
Ithi inkosi enkantolo
confront rather.
izogcina lapho ke malana nodaba lobufakazi obukhona ngaphambi kwayo kepha ke ethi khona kubuye ufakazi engeke yakhuluma ngabo ngoba sikho ngaphakathi kwecala ke namuhla kepha ke singaphansi kwesicelo sakamsola wesine kade silethiwe lapho ke ummeli wakhe advocate Nxumalo Thizeni bamdedele kumacala wonkana labamthwesabo ona ke ngoba ithi mayiphinda futhi inkosi enkantolo icaphuna mhlambe kuyisho ke inkulumo yayo ithi khona ke udaba lobufakazi obukhona ngapha.
Okay.
As the court pleases, my lord.
So what do we do tomorrow?
Please the court, my lord.
Thanks.